Do you hate the fact that no matter what you do, each and every time you play Fallout 4, you're always that same vault dweller tasked with finding your son? That same core and repetitive objective no matter what you do or what mods you install. Or at least it was that way, as a new mod just recently dropped for the game that is finally beginning to fix that, turning Fallout 4 into a true RPG where you could just be a random wastelander, and all of the other NPCs in the world will even recognize you as such.
Unfortunately, you are a good example of why children are annoying.
Father?
But do you ever want to just go AFK? Well, now you can, and even get rewarded for it, that thanks to today's video sponsor, AFK Journey. And there's a lot more to do in AFK Journey than just idle. This is an ethereal fantasy RPG, so you'll go on an epic adventure in this canvas art style where you truly feel like you're in a living painting. Here, you'll be playing as Merlin, who you can make your own thanks to their in-depth character customization system. You'll adventure across Asperia, experiencing the main story via unique characters or even unique threats and puzzles to be solved. And you can even do all of this conveniently with just one hand on mobile, or on PC with some really cool side-scrolling elements. But combat will find you. In AFK Journey, you'll gather heroes across 6 different factions, each with their own unique abilities and tactics. Combat requires strategy here. How you place heroes will lead to different outcomes, and there's even a bullet time mechanic, so you could land that ultimate ability, but you can still AFK in AFK Journey. It features resonance for both heroes and equipment, so you'll progress even while eating or sleeping. AFK Journey just dropped and is completely free to download on iOS, Android, and even PC, and right now is really a great time to jump in. Just during release, they're giving away 40 heroes for free, even some epic heroes in there. You'll get 200 more pulls free just by progressing the game and doing things like the 7-day login reward, so stop waiting. Download AFK Journey right now using that link below and use my CD key AFK Journey 88 to get a special surprise just for you guys. But looking back at Fallout 4, this epic new role-playing mod is Alternate Dialogue Project. This will use voice AI to implement new lines for many of the characters in the game, including you as the main protagonist.
Sean, right? You are the boy I've been looking for, aren't you?
Who are you?
To adapt to a new story of you as a wastelander, no longer having a kid, no longer being a vault dweller, and really you could just be whoever you want here. At its core, the way this mod works is by hooking into the existing Start Me Up Redux mod. Most of you have probably already used this one. It is the main alternative start mod for Fallout 4 available right now. And basically the way it works is after creating your character, you can simply pick a profession and place to start in the Commonwealth and you'll be placed there. But also very importantly, Start Me Up Redux begins with a unique quest. It'll lead you into the main story of Fallout 4, but from a different perspective. It'll lead you to explore the nearby area for a vault that you, as a random wastelander, have heard rumors about. And eventually, of course, you will find Vault 111. You'll find a failed escape attempt from Nate, and even a holotape documenting what exactly happened here, as the Institute originally broke into the vault to steal Sean. And this will kick off your new story in Fallout 4. You'll get another new quest to seek help in investigating this kidnapping that you just heard about on the holotape, and if you choose to go down that path, you'll find a very different Fallout 4 main story experience. When you finally meet up with Nick Valentine, instead of pleading with him to find your kidnapped son, you're just talking about a general kidnapping.
I found a holotape in Vault 111 that recorded the abduction of a baby boy. Figured I should investigate this further.
This is really strange.
It happened in Vault 111, a type of cryogenic facility.
Underground, huh? Sealed up. It's a lot of obstacles to get through just to take one person. Anything else you remember?
Instead of a highly emotional retelling, it almost comes across like a horrific curiosity. Catching up with Kellogg is a lot more interesting now.
So, the boy? Where is he?
I don't know why you're so interested in the boy. I'm guessing you care about a lot more than that.
Right now.
Take you to him. Like I could, even if I wanted to. The boy is safe in his home.
Kellogg treats us like just another wasteland merc who is causing havoc in the Commonwealth, but we happen to find a holotape that he's on. And to complement this rather bizarre journey we're going on, a lot of effort for just a random holotape that documents a kidnapping, even Kellogg has new lines of dialogue to actually highlight how we're really pursuing this one. But where this mod shines the most is the Institute.
Sean, right? You are the boy I've been looking for, aren't you?
Who are you?
Seems like we need to get you out of there somehow.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Boy, calm down. It's all right.
What's going on? Father? Father!
This is starting to get a little strange.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me!
Unfortunately, you are a good example of why children are annoying.
Father?
Of course, still is emotion here. After all, this is the boy you've been looking for out of the goodness of your heart. But meeting Father becomes a lot more interesting when you roleplay this way.
Please try and keep an open mind. I know that was probably a bit strange.
I want answers from you, and I want them to be good.
I promised answers, and answers you shall have. You have traveled far and endured a lot to get here. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's nice to meet you, stranger. My name is Sean.
Are you serious?
Yes, absolutely. That's the truth. You just found the holotape. You couldn't be aware of the time that had passed. Do you think 10 years have passed? In reality, it was 60 years. And here I am. Raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
He is almost bemused that you've been putting in so much effort to look for Sean, and the conversation becomes more of Father just being impressed with what we've done in the Commonwealth thus far, rather than an emotional reconnection with your son. And a really nice touch of this mod is, since you have so much new dialogue, sometimes there are even new options.
No offense, but that guy blew your mother's brains out.
Believe me, I am well aware of the atrocities Kellogg committed.
So it'll slightly expand your roleplay ability a bit, not only in avoiding Fallout 4's main story of being a father and a vault dweller, but also just in how you could respond to some of these prompts. And this overhaul will apply to the Institute overall, including the other department heads, and even General Since will no longer recognize you as Father's father.
Father told us about you, about your discovery in Vault 111. It's nice to meet you.
And I don't want to spoil it, but you'll notice new and edited dialogue for many of the other factions and as you progress Fallout 4's main story, especially if you now decide to destroy the Institute, because you really don't have any major connections to them. But thankfully this mod doesn't just impact the main story. Lots of side characters were edited to maintain this narrative as well. Piper no longer refers to us as Blue. We never came from a vault, so that wouldn't make any sense anymore. The interview you have with her has nothing to do with being a vault dweller. We're just some wastelander who heard about a kidnapped kid now. Codsworth is hilarious. He's now just an old, malfunctioning Mr. Handy who is desperate for somebody to follow.
Oh, it's really moron!
A robot waiter.
Humongous. Please allow me to serve by your side.
And even your interactions with the Vault Tech rep will be overhauled, since he never actually came to your door in this story. Overall, this mod's really incredible. It already is a monumental achievement for how you can experience and roleplay in Fallout 4, but this one only came out a month ago, and the mod author is actively taking feedback and adding in more content. The mod right now is of course not perfect. Sometimes there is some weird scene skipping, as dialogue needs to be skipped to maintain the continuity, as well as some of the voice AI work is definitely noticeable, particularly with Nick Valentine. It gets a bit rough at points, but overall this is something that has some serious potential, and even if you don't want to download it right now, it's definitely a good mod to keep an eye on. And if you are looking to turn Fallout 4 into more of an RPG where you don't just have to be a vault dweller with a son, this is really your only option right now. But that actually isn't the only way modders are making Fallout 4 more of an RPG. Extended Diamond City Security Dialogue is another really cool mod that just came out that's going to add in a plethora of new voice lines to the guards around Diamond City. So now guards will have just under 150 new lines of passive dialogue that they'll use as you pass them, and this will be largely based off what you did. If you're proficient in certain skills, it'll trigger new comments.
Don't suppose you could give this little pea shooter of mine a bit more kick? Feel like the bullets are just bouncing off super mutants. If you're so good at hacking, why haven't you hacked into a synth yet?
Or let's say you have a high level of gun nut. Maybe the guards will ask you to help them out with their own equipment. But even cooler, they'll comment on the recent happenings around the Commonwealth.
I wouldn't want to mess with whoever killed off all those gunners over at that Green Tech Genetics building.
And of course, most of the time, these are things that we just did, some quest we just completed with a conflict in some location. And sometimes the guards will even just take to comment on the current weather or the general happenings around Diamond City.
Officer?
Good weather. Hope it stays that way.
My friend tells me you've taken down a bunch of those old pre-war turrets. They're a pain in the ass to deal with, huh?
This mod, of course, is using voice AI to simulate these new lines, but I think it sounds pretty good, and it definitely ups the immersion as you explore around the Great Green Jewel. But if you're downloading that one, you almost certainly should also pick up Diamond City Guard Armor Overhaul. This will implement some more substantial armors into the level list of the guards around Diamond City. So you'll find them still with the baseball theme, but now more steel plates or even leather armor intertwined with their catcher's outfit. You'll find some guards using this heavier version of the helmet, but also occasionally wearing hats or glasses along with their more substantial body armor. And believe me, after downloading each of these mods, the armor as well as the voice overhaul, you'll start to realize how often you walk in and around Diamond City, because these differences really start to make a big change over the course of your game. But if you are looking for just some actual new voice acted quest content in Fallout 4, we also have The Experiment, which just released. In this brand new quest mod, you'll find yourself at the center of a conflict between mysterious scientists as well as some hired gunners. Unfortunately, all of you are now trapped in a basement lab along with their mysterious experiment, and together you'll need to figure out a way out. You'll gradually get to know some of these characters as you investigate the scene and may even end up teaming up with some of them, but it's a fun one because it does have a simple goal. You just want to escape, but you're trapped here in a lockdown, and over time you'll uncover that something else may be going on. There are plenty of decisions to make along the way and even a ton of skill checks that you can pass. The quest itself is relatively short, but it has some great voice acting and a really compelling story, and it even leaves you with a powerful new weapon. But if you are looking to overhaul the weapon options in the Commonwealth, you're going to need the attachment pack. This is a gigantic new mod to recently drop that'll implement over 400 new attachments into Fallout 4. So all of those familiar vanilla weapons you've seen for 8 years now, all of a sudden have a fresh set of paint with a ton of new attachment options that could really make them a lot more interesting. Some of these new attachments are bringing back old game favorites, like turning the laser rifle into the Watts laser rifle from earlier Fallouts, or a new stick mag for the SMG with a full set of custom animations. But even beyond that, there are just a ton of other options to really convert some of the familiar weapons into more tactical or interesting options. Some of the new additions are re-implementing cut content from Fallout 4, like with the Chinese assault rifle, but perhaps the most important part of all, a lot of this mod is just incredibly fun. Lots of these new attachments can serve as functional overhauls for your favorite weapon, and considering the fact that this mod adds in over 400, this is quite the overhaul. Almost every single weapon in Fallout 4 has new attachment options for it, and again, a lot of these could really change up how you use that weapon. But even if none of that appeals to you thus far, you're just sick and tired of those vanilla weapons even with new attachments, you should still probably download this mod, because these attachments are going to be implemented into the leveled list of the world. So all of the other NPCs you encounter will oftentimes have newly customized weapons, which just keeps Fallout 4 fresh and interesting. But overall, this is a look at some of the epic new mods overhauling Fallout 4 in some pretty major ways. But if you are interested in the next Fallout game, check out this video, because I think I just figured out where Fallout 5 is taking place.